it's one of those things that you have to be really intentional about as well, because I've seen another thing happen to church plants that is really a challenge and kind of regretful. And that is they launch in a portable meeting location like a school or a movie theater or a YMCA,
Yeah.
but they actually rent an office space 24/7 that may or may not be actually in the same community or in the same neighborhood
Right.
as where they're actually having their worship services. And Google will actually establish their Google My Business page where their office location is. And I've actually seen that happen a few times, and that can make things more complicated. And it happens because Google's trying to help you. And if you don't get intentional about claiming your Google My Business page, establishing your Google My Business page at the proper location, what will happen inherently is that people will Google church near me, and they'll pull up, Google will provide them your Google My Business page, which will actually be your office location and not actually your weekend meeting location. That does not help the searcher who's looking for a church near them, right?
No. And that's a good point. If you're a multi-campus, and in that kind of scenario, you're sort of like you have multiple locations, right? Because you have a church office, in a Suite 100 over here. That's fine. You can have a Google My Business profile for that office. Just make sure you label it the church office, right? But your other location that you're only in on Sunday mornings at the junior high, that's a mile away, that needs to have its own Google My Business profile, because that is what you want people to find, right? So if you have 4 or 5 locations, guess what? You have 4 or 5 storefronts. You have 4 or 5 Google My Business locations. But with a startup church, that usually is the case. Like if they have some kind of a small little office, they may even do like a Wednesday night thing. There are some small groups, maybe not, but usually their campus is in a high school or some other rented facility far away. That's the one you have to be focusing on.